What's your favorite so far?
The kids.
Those guys are so, like, Caleb's been working with them, and he graduates people through, you know, so every year it's not just like they're a group that's getting tighter and tighter. He's sort of starting fresh, right. You know, some years, and yet they seem to be progressing in their abilities. Like that one kid with the kind of the opie ears and stuff, knocking it out, you know, I was like, yeah, buddy, own it. That's the charm of sort of the art of jazz music is that way, you know, where it is almost an oral tradition where you're passing it on from one to the next, and then you know, these guys are seeing their stars, and not only seeing them but performing with them. Once that happens, you know, the circle's complete. They understand that, you know, you study, you learn with them, you get to perform, and they see the whole vision.
Now, is this something you brought with you yourself as an idea, the foundation?
No, I can't take credit for that at all. You know, really, I'm going to give that back to Caleb for sure, for the concept. I just happen to be more of a presenter and, you know, kind of a leader to try to spread the gospel, if you will, of jazz education. And so for me to go out and be able to figure out ways to present it to the general public. You know, we have a captive audience here, and maybe 90% of them don't have any concept about jazz education, what it means. But if I can figure out a clever way to incorporate that into the show, it's better than reading a brochure, isn't it? We get a lot of acts through here, and you know, some are going to be pleasant, some are not, and some have been on the road and had a bad day, and some haven't. But you know, if once you put those guys in front of some students that are wide-eyed, you know, they're very respectful for that attention. You know, and they may not give that to an adult, but they'll certainly give it to a student. Everybody will.
Your programming is broad. It's very much like how jazz festivals are now.
Yeah, they are.
And that's survival, I can imagine.
Sure.
And how do you go about planning your program?
You know, that is really the job that I have, is sort of the flow of show. And how you go from one artist to the next and how that's going to work. I work with the selection committee. I take surveys all year long. I look at market reports. I do all that stuff. I look how much money I have to spend, you know, and then my job is to put that puzzle together as we go ahead. Yes, I think stylistically we've made the choice to be a broad, diverse audience. We've done some pretty in-depth studies on, you know, what is our brand? You know, are we going to be a straight ahead brand? Are we going to be a contemporary jazz brand? Are we going to be, you know, what does that mean? And then how does that fit to my audience? And how does that fit to my venue? You know, if you're in an indoor venue, you have a much more captive audience that's going to be able to focus on an artist that might be doing more intricate work. If you're out here and people are partying on the lawn, you got to kind of come up and rattle their cage, you know?
Certain bands for that.
And it's really important that you measure those things together. So I think we did a good job this year, really going flow of show. And I think today is going to probably be the best testament of that.
Or you look at the range of acts too. So I was thinking that you do have some heavy competition that you really have to be creative, because you got the Gypsy Kings on the other side of the festival. You've had Gladys Knight on the other side of it. And you got Dylan. I mean, so you really have to compete for...
Yeah, Park City's happening right now. You know, it's a very vibrant community. Things are going on at all times. You know, what we try to do is set ourselves apart by our level of production. You know, we have 2 stages, Festival Village. We have the best sound everywhere. Nobody has a video board. Nobody's doing those things that we're doing. We're providing a sort of a comprehensive festival experience as opposed to going to a concert. And it's hard to see that when you're looking in the paper at an advertisement and making your choices, you know, of where you're going to spend your concert entertainment dollars. But once you experience it, we have a good confidence that we're going to have repeat customers and grow from that.
Give me a couple of the high points since you've been here.
My high points, you know, I think for me, when Anna Wilson was performing yesterday and that young boy did the trumpet solo with her, that was the real deal. That just sort of happened. You know, that kid came up about 4 hours earlier and was in a clinic that we did on Saturday morning and said, you know, I kind of hear it like this. And he brought his horn with him. And they said, well, would you like to come to the show tonight? That wasn't rehearsed. We were like, okay, roll the dice. I hope this works. And it happened. I mean, it was like 90 degrees out and everybody had goosebumps, you know.
If you had the money, and the more money that, you know, the money that you can spend what act would you bring that would make you happy? Put
Well,
in front of people.
you know, I've always wanted to get like a Steely Dan out here, which is an interesting sort of crossover. It'd be great in this venue.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Aretha Franklin fan. You know, I think that would be fantastic. You know, those are two of the ones that I really wanted to get. One guy that I pursued a lot, which is in our ballpark probably, but I just haven't been able to close him, is Jamie Cullum.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he's just been busy or whatever. But those are some of the type of things that I'd like to get.